Hello and thank you for clicking on this video and welcome back to my channel. Today I decided I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I am going to call this Conversations with the Anonymous Voice, where I'll have just one of my friends ask me questions about what's going on in my life and more specifically the work that I'm doing, and I'll answer as honestly as I can and bring about conversations that spark inspiration, just positive things for anybody who's working towards something. So, Anonymous Voice.
Yeah.
What do you have for us today?
It's okay.
What's up?
What kind of message would you like to tell to the people?
Really?
Yes.
Okay. What message do I want to tell to the people? That's a good question. And as you can see, it's completely organic. I hadn't thought of this, so I'll need a short moment to think about the one message.
It can be a short answer. Doesn't have to be long.
I don't know. I find recently I'm learning a lot of things. But most salient of these things that I'm learning is not to judge. I find that naturally I'm quite a judgmental person. I think that helps with writing, because in writing you sometimes have to assume what the character is thinking and also create a character that's understandable from a stereotypical perspective, so that when you say he's like a motorcycle rider, you don't have to describe this is the leather he's wearing and this is this he's wearing and doing. We can all imagine we've arrived at this prototype, and it's much faster to just continue telling the story. But in life, however, I'm having a lot of moments where I feel that I'm intuitive and I know something, but I end up being judgmental and the situation ends up proving me wrong. Like, many things are showing up as the complete opposite of what I projected for them and what I expected of them. I've also noticed that, even thinking about people I went to high school with or grew up with, there's people who, and I'd say majority of the people who people look down on and kind of labeled and said this person won't make it, those are the people who are successful. And I find that the people who are expected to make it are all having an equally difficult time figuring life out.
Why do you think people said those kids wouldn't make it?
Do you think it's because they knew something?
Were they all projecting the same kind of vibe, or?
Well, perhaps they were trying to motivate them, right? Using reverse psychology. But now I know there's people we were all oh my goodness, he's not gonna I feel bad for you after high school. And those are precisely the people I find who are doing things, at least who are presenting as though they're doing things and are being recognized for it.
What about after high school, when you went into the work environment? Was that different from the same environment that was in high school?
Well, where I work currently is it feels like a high school, honestly. Even in the organizational structure, it feels like high school. It feels like the managers are the teachers and the workers are the students and the CEO is maybe the principal. It's set up it's weird. They said life will be so different after high school, but the older you grow, the more people grow even more fundamentally into their high school persona, and is amplified because now they have more power, they're smarter, they have money. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
All right.
But yeah, I was just trying to convey that I'm learning not to judge people, and it's a huge shift considering I tend to make judgments and to be very sure of them to the point I feel wow, I'm so intuitive.
Do you connect characters from the beginning to the end?
What do you mean?
Is there a new character introduced at the end that would be connected to the character at the beginning, or how does that work in your writing?
I don't know. I'm finding that as I write, maybe I'm the kind of writer who writes books that are really slow paced. Because for me, it's less about the action. It's not so much like a movie. You wouldn't easily be able to turn listen to a movie even, because it's more about the descriptions and it's about the thought process. There's so much introspection in the book, like not much happens like between characters, or it does, but it's just limited to that paragraph to assist describe something else about them. But like, yeah, it's a slow-paced book that focuses more on introspection and like just conversations that go through one's head. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How many people you would say are aware of the conversations in their head?
I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where I think I've just been continuously learning. I thought I knew. I thought I was aware. I thought everyone was relatively aware, but I think the minority of people are aware.
And do you think that changed the way they live?
Of course. Because another lesson that I'm learning is the things that you think or write or talk about usually come to be. Both through maybe a self-fulfilling prophecy, but also perhaps through intrinsic power within doing these things, within writing and within speaking. It's really cool. And I didn't understand it when Christians, especially like Protestants, like declare stuff to God. Like it seems kind of extra, like, okay, dreamer, but like for real it happens. And also what you say in your head like really matters. What do
So
you think?
did you ever think about what you're doing now, what you're pursuing now when you're little, or did you see it into existence?
Well, when I was little, just like I am now, I didn't know what I wanted to be. And I'm still the same way. I used to change it every day. It used to feel like just an answer to a question adults want to hear. So you just tell them the thing that seems the coolest or the thing that will get them shut up. Like, yeah, based on what you need to do. Even now, when people ask what I do, it's really awkward because...
What do you do then? Tell us.
Why does what do I do have to do so much with my career? What do I do? Like, I wake up, I try to live in a way that I'm improving. I have different hobbies, I have different things that I do, I have different things that I don't do. There's a lot of laziness. If someone asks me, what do you do? I procrastinate, I write. I have a set of responsibilities at the office, but I don't know.
Why do you procrastinate?
I shouldn't be procrastinating.
Oh yeah, you
No.
shouldn't. Everyone shouldn't. We
But-
should. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I just find that like sometimes when you procrastinate, you're actually just thinking a lot. You're just lost in seeking something or battling with something that it manifests as procrastinations, not doing something else, but perhaps even through the power of thought, you're creating other things. But of course, it's bad when procrastination gets in the way of your goal in a tangible way, and especially if you're not the kind of person who can work last minute. But I'd say I've been procrastinating quite a bit.
Would you say you're a writing goals kind of person?
No, I'm not a writing goals kind of person, and I look up to people who write down their goals, and I try to I guess with life, like as you grow older, you tend to write things down more because you realize the importance, but it's something that I'm really trying to do lately because it's the best way to measure progress. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to talk about, really, without me asking you any questions?
Nothing that I can think of today, but there'll always be the next video. And of course, I'll talk about that then. Deuces.